Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having a great day, and we're starting off very quickly in the Hall of Patrons. I missed someone last time, John McManus. Welcome to the Hall of Patrons. I knew it always happened. Then again, I think we inducted like 70, maybe 80 new people into the Hall of Patrons last episode, so I'm not super surprised that I missed someone. But in today's episode, we are going to work on the walls of Regnum. Last episode, we kind of did some designing and some thinking and stuff like that in a creative testing world, trying to come up with a design that would work. Some of you also sent me screenshots and images on Twitter with ideas and stuff like that, and there was a couple in the comments as well. So for those of you who sent stuff in, thank you. I appreciate it very much. There were some really good ideas and some really cool stuff. However, I've been doing some thinking on it. I've been doing a bit of thinking, and I've come to the realization that it needs to be a lot simpler than what we were looking at. If I overcomplicate it, the wall is going to take a million years to finish. Not to mention, it's going to be super grindy and ridiculously time intensive. And I don't think it's going to be something that I will, I think it will, like, I know myself, and I will get demotivated very quickly if I go overboard with it. And I think the designs that we had earlier were overboard. It was too much. So in today's episode, I want to start building the wall. I've been doing some work off camera in a creative testing world, coming up with a design that I think works and that I'm happy with, but is actually much simpler than what we were looking at before. And I think that's the smart thing to do. I think that's the wise decision. So that is what we're going to do. Let me just get a couple things put away here, get organized a little bit. Coal goes down over here, like so. We can throw all of this stuff into buckets or into a chest, and then zombie flesh over here. So let's start grabbing some blocks, and I'll kind of show you the design for this. It's much simpler than what we had before, but it still works. It still gets the job done, and that's the important thing. So grab a little of this. There we go. And then we're going to need some red nether brick. We're going to need some iron bars. We're going to need some spruce slabs, and then last but not least, we're going to need some regular nether brick and its variants as well. Okay, so here's the plan. Let's just swing over here to the starting area, right? So we have this whole big thing where we're going to have different sections of the wall and all this other kind of stuff. Right here, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different because this is going to be like the main entrance to the city. So right there, we probably don't want to build the wall there just yet. That's going to be like a much grander and larger gate. But over here, this we can work with right over here. So what we'll do is start putting down some blocks. I wish I had not just broken that. That was actually a poor decision. Let's grab... Oh, I'm actually super low on rockets. Okay, note to self, make more rockets next time I'm over at the area to build with. So let's... Well, now it's almost nighttime. Man, we're off to a great start this episode. Let me take a little bit of a sleep in here. Whoa. Feather falling? That was a lot of damage for having feather falling 4. Okay. I'm really surprised by that. I didn't think I hit the ground that hard, but okay, whatever. So let's see if we can find a good spot to kind of start this whole thing. And I'm kind of thinking maybe like, maybe like over here? Let's just start it right here. This'll work. We'll start it right here. And this is going to be like right up against the wall, right? So if we build a thing, let's mark out a couple towers, right? So let's go like this. And we'll just kind of mark out some towers like so. These are going to have to be... I'm going to have to scoot these back because the road is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide here. So this tower... And actually, these towers here are going to be bigger as well. Because these are the main entrance, which we had kind of already talked about. But say we do like 5 here, and then here, there, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here, right? So this will be a tower of some sort. And let's just kind of build this up a little bit so we can get an idea of that. There we go. And we need to eat a little bit more food because, once again, the health. Okay, so there we go. Now, we know that this is going to be a tower, right? And then we know our wall's going to be 3 wide, and our wall is actually going to come, like, right here, I think. So what we're going to do is kind of start marking out this wall a little bit. So let's go 1, 2, 3. And then here it's going to go up 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Well, let me steal a little bit of grass from over here. And that'll go like this. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3. Here. It'll go up again. And like so. You guys kind of get the idea, right? And then what we'll do is build these up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like so. And bring that over. So that should give us like a 3x3 area on the inside. And what I'll probably end up doing is bringing this grass out to about here. So let's actually steal a little bit more grass from maybe over here. That seems like a good place, since that terrain was looking a little weird anyway. Yeah, we'll go like so. And then we'll kind of bring this over and down. And then here it's going to go up. Right? And this way we can make sure that the wall is still in place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because we want the wall to match with the terrain. Break? There we go. So like so, and then I might as well just finish this little section of the wall. We'll do this little section of the wall together, and then I'm going to do a whole bunch of off-camera building and build a lot of this wall, right? And I think we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. We'll space out the towers as we feel the need. But then we're going to have a tower right here. And this will be a bit smaller than what we had elsewhere, right? So we'll have like a little tower right here. And those will be spaced out kind of along the wall section, okay? So then, bearing in mind that some of these are not 3, right? So let's bring this guy up, and maybe we need a bit more grass. Maybe I'll just, you know what? Let's just break this whole thing right here. I want all of this grass because I'm tired of having to run back and forth to get it. There we go. And we'll bring this right along here, like so. And then there was a torch like right about here, so we'll do that. Okay, cool. So then, this is what our actual wall design is going to look like, right? So we'll put nether brick stairs in the corners, slabs like so, and then back here behind it, we're going to make like a little plus sign out of red nether brick with iron bars like this. So I think this will actually work pretty well. I think it's going to look okay. And it gives us just enough detail that it's not super boring, but not enough detail that it's going to take me a million years to actually complete this wall. Because one of my goals, I want to complete Regnum by episode 150. And we're slowly kind of getting close to that point in the series. We're getting very close to episode 150. It's coming very soon. And we need to do some work for sure if we're going to finish that up. I'd like to finish the villager breeder in Solus before episode 150 as well, but I'm not like super concerned with that. I'm really, my big priority is getting this done. Okay. So now we've got that. And then what we're going to do is right here on this level, we'll put down some spruce slabs, right? And we'll build it up like this. And we're going to have some spots where it's going to be a little weird, but we'll make it work. It'll be fine. And we already said that this right here is going to be a tower, right? So we know this, for example, is going to go away, and this is going to be part of our tower. And then every other one, we'll put down a granite block like so to kind of frame out the wall. All right. And that's basically the wall design from the front. We do need to get these iron bars in place like so. But that's essentially what the wall is going to look like. And that'll go all the way around the entirety of the city. Okay? Now, from the inside of the city, we're going to be doing something a lot simpler. Very, very simple. We're just basically going to fill this bottom part in. And on spots where we have the slab, we'll just make it a full block. As much as I don't want to, I think that is necessary. We could potentially put like a spruce stair there instead, but I don't think that's a huge concern. So let's just kind of build all this over. We also do, come to think of it, need to put some torches in here because it will be spawnable if we don't. I was just thinking about that. Gotta get some torches as we go along here. Otherwise, there's going to be spawnable areas. And obviously, we don't want anything spawning inside of our walls for what I hope would be obvious reasons. Another torch there. So I'll do that as I build this thing up. But this is basically what the wall is going to look like from this side. And we'll have some stairs that'll kind of lead up so you can get on top of the wall and all that kind of good stuff. That's basically the plan. This is going to be a lot of wall building. I'm gonna have a lot of work to do here. But I'm hoping we can get this done, if not in today's episode, in one more. And then basically, when we look at Regnum as a whole, when we fly up here, I mean, the city is almost done. We've got a couple more plots to fill. I'll just put like some generic houses and stuff in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got to build the walls, obviously, all around the city. One of these is going to be a temple. I mean, we're getting close. We're getting close. And I think as far as streaming goes, I think I'm going to be streaming some of this as well because I want to get this done by the time episode 150 comes. I have some big plans for what is going to happen with Kingdoms at episode 150. So, needless to say, I want this kingdom to be done by the time that happens. But I'm going to get to work on the wall. I'm going to get as much building done as I can. and I'll come back to you with a progress update in just a little bit. All right, guys, I am back, and I have a bit of a progress update for you guys. So I have done quite a lot of work. I've got, this is actually like 4 hours later. This is like 4 hours of work. So let's just kind of take a look around as we fly here. I've got the wall kind of built around Regnum, like laid out. I've got parts of it done, or parts of the front facade of it done anyway, except for the iron, because I'm actually super low on iron. This iron in my inventory, this like 3.5 stacks of iron, that is all the iron that I have in this entire world. And then I have another stack here that I can smelt up. But other than that, I am completely out of iron, so I'm gonna have to do some mining and get some more. Also, there are some significant, I don't want to say problems, but challenges. There are some challenges here that I'm going to have to work out as well. So part of it is resources. I should have enough netherwort that I can finish the wall with netherwort blocks. I should be fine there. That shouldn't be a problem. I am going to run out of granite. This is not enough granite. I'm going to need more. What I have here is not sufficient, so that's going to have to be done. And then the other part of it is terrain. There's a couple areas, like, for example, right here, I want to have a gate right here, with this road that leads out in this direction, which means I want these two towers to be at different at the same elevation, because otherwise it's just, or at least roughly the same elevation, because otherwise it's just going to look really weird. If we've got like the gate kind of coming down in a slant, yeah, it's going to look stupid. So I decided to raise this up, but that also means then I need to raise the terrain up to meet the wall. So I'm going to have to do some terraforming there for sure. And then also there's another spot right over here where I'm going to have to do kind of the same thing as well, although this will be easier. This is just going to be like filling in this hole that's in the ground. This should be pretty easy to deal with. But I'm going to do some stuff here to kind of make the terrain rise up to meet the wall. So that's going to be kind of a thing that I need to work on. Then I need to get the spruce slabs along the entire edge, and then I need to fill in the entire backside with granite. I thought I was going to have enough granite for this project, because I had like almost 2 full double chests of granite, I think. Something like that. And this is what I have in my inventory. This is all that I have left. And this is after building up the entire wall. And keep in mind, the back side of the wall is going to use more granite than the front side. Because the front side, we've just got kind of granite frames. The back side, all of this is filled in underneath the slabs. So I'm going to need more granite than what I have right now. I shouldn't need too much more, I don't think. But then the other consideration, too, is that we've got these towers marked out as well. And those towers are going to be built primarily out of granite as well. So that's also going to use up a fair amount of granite. So yeah, definitely going to need some granite and some iron for the walls to get this done. We also need to come up with a tower design. I haven't done that yet. I have kind of a general idea of what I want. I'm thinking probably something relatively simple, and we need 2 towers, one that's a little bit bigger than the other. So I think that's kind of the plan. But you can see kind of the scale of this project. Keep in mind, I've been working on this basically for 4 hours straight, and it's a much bigger area that you might think. And then once you add in the resource gathering and all this stuff, this is going to be a project that's going to take many, many, many hours to complete. So I think this is going to be a stream project to work on as well. So, yeah, fun stuff. I think I'm going to do a bit more work, do a little bit of grinding, and maybe some resource gathering, stuff like that, see if I can get some more of these walls kind of in place to give you guys kind of a better feel of how this whole thing is going to look. But yeah, let me get some more work done, and I'll be back with you in a minute. All right, guys, I am back, and it is actually the next day. I've been doing some more work on the walls. I've got a good chunk of the walls mostly done. Obviously, I don't have any of the towers or anything like that in place because I needed to come up with the tower design, and I'll show you what I came up with in just a second, but you can see the walls are coming along. All of this along here is basically done. I just need to do the texture variation, but that'll be something I probably do mostly in live streams or off camera because you've seen the texture variation many times. So yeah, there are a couple spots in the walls that are a little messed up. They're off by like 1 block. For example, if we look along this, you can see that it's not perfectly straight. It kind of comes out this way a little bit, and that was just a mistake on my part, but at this point, I think it's fine. So yeah, basically at this point, we just need to get the towers in place. We need to finish the walls. And then I also need to do all of this terraforming over here to get these hills and stuff like that the way that we want them. So we're getting there. We made some significant progress. But I want to show you guys what I came up with for the tower design. So let's jump into my creative testing world here real quick. And we have 2 tower designs. This one's a little bit smaller. And what we may do as well, let's just grab these. We may end up putting something like this in place inside the, just to add a little bit to that, but something along these lines. This will be the smaller tower, and I'm going kind of like a domed roof on these, which I think actually looks pretty good. It might not fit the Roman theme so much, but I think it looks good and it gets the job done. And I want to keep these towers very simple as much as possible because I'm going to be building a lot of them, and you know, much like the walls, I don't want to go too overboard. I want to be able to finish this project at some point. So that's the smaller tower. This is the bigger tower, and it's very much kind of in the same vein, but it just looks a little bit different. It's a little larger, a little taller, a little fatter, but kind of the same thing. And then I think we'll probably put some sort of a flag or a banner on top of the larger towers. So these will be scattered roughly every 5 or 6 wall stations, and then, or wall sections, I should say, because remember, each one of our sections is basically like 3 to 5 blocks, depending on how you want to count it. I would call it 5. And then the bigger towers are going to be located at kind of some key points, like near the entrance to the city. I think 1 or 2 of the corner sections have them, etc., etc. So that is basically the plan for the towers. I'm going to have to build quite a few of these. If we jump back into the Kingdoms world, you'll kind of see what I mean here. Let's see. So each one of these smaller circles is one of the smaller towers. And you can see there's quite a few of them along here, right? I also need to terraform this whole thing so we can figure out what we're going to do with the wall. I don't know yet if I want to bring the wall up onto the hill, or if I want to basically peel this whole mountain back, which is kind of the option I'm leaning towards. That's going to be a project in and of itself. But then there's also a couple of these larger towers. There's one here. I think this one back here is a larger tower. Yeah, right here. So you can see there's going to be quite a lot of stuff that I have left to do as far as the walls are concerned, but we did make some very significant progress today. This is like, I don't know how many hours I've got into this episode at this point, but it's quite a few. So I think it's time to jump into the comment of the day, and it's from Hack Games. They say, "Why you no play Egg Wars? It's so fun." So mini games in general, people ask me all the time, why don't you play mini games? Why don't you play Sky Wars? Why don't you play Egg Wars? Why don't you play Bed Wars? Why don't you play Build Battle? You know, pick a mini game, any mini game. And I've probably gotten questions asking why I don't really play mini games. And the truth is, I'm not really that into mini games. They just don't interest me that much. And I especially am not interested in large public servers. Like if it's a mini game on Hermitcraft that I'm playing with other hermits or something, that's different. But like going on to like Hypixel or Mineplex or, oh, we have filled up a chest of comments for the first time. That's pretty amazing. So 7 March 2017. So we'll say 7 March 2017. 2017 until today is 16 August 2017. So there we go, a full chest of comments. But anyway, as I was saying, Mineplex, Hypixel, large mega servers like that, they just don't interest me. I don't like, I really don't enjoy playing with people that I don't know. And imagine, if you will, logging onto a server and just being bombarded nonstop with people asking for screenshots or asking questions or just constantly asking you things. And like, it takes away your ability to play because you don't want to be a jerk and be like, I'm going to ignore you. But at the same time, you really can't do anything when you're just constantly being bombarded with those things. And I just don't enjoy mini games in the first place. I never really have. I never will. Well, I shouldn't say I never will. Who knows? Maybe my tastes will change someday, but I find it extremely unlikely. I don't know. It's just not for me. It's not my cup of tea, so to speak. So that's why I don't play Egg Wars or any other mini games for that matter, because they're just not something I'm interested in. And I also am not a big fan of large public servers with hundreds or thousands of people online. I much prefer a small community with a handful of close friends like Hermitcraft, for example. So there's your answer. But guys, I think that is going to do it for today's episode. This episode took a lot longer than it looks like it should have based on the progress. But the thing is, this wall building, it takes some time for sure. And I had to spend quite a while gathering resources as well. Mining for more granite and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.